Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Today we're diving into a silent battle many people are fighting, a struggle waged between the pressures of our modern world and one of the most fundamental biological drives we have, the drive to create a family. We live in an era of constant ambition and connectivity, but this relentless pace has a hidden cost. It's creating a state of chronic stress that is having a profound and often unseen impact on human fertility. For many, the path to parenthood, once seen as a natural next step, has become a complex and emotionally taxing journey. The diagnosis of infertility itself is a major life crisis, creating a vicious cycle where the stress of not being able to conceive can make it even harder to do so. In this episode, we're going to unpack the science behind this. We'll explore exactly how our thoughts and emotions translate into tangible physiological changes that disrupt the delicate hormonal symphony required for reproduction. We'll dissect the specific stressors of modern life and, most importantly, explore the evidence-based strategies that can help you reclaim a sense of control and nurture your potential for new life. At the core of this mind-body connection is a field of science called psychoneuroimmunology. It sounds complicated, but it's simply the study of how your brain, your psychological state, directly influences your nervous, endocrine, and immune systems, all of which are critical for reproductive health. When we experience stress, our body kicks off a survival response. The primary pathway for this is the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, or HPA axis. Think of it as your body's stress command center. When your brain perceives a threat, whether it's a tiger in the wild or, more realistically today, a looming deadline or another negative pregnancy test, the hypothalamus releases a hormone called CRH. This tells the pituitary gland to release ACTH, which then signals your adrenal glands to pump out cortisol, the body's main stress hormone. This fight-or-flight response is brilliant for short-term survival. But the problem with modern life is that the threats don't go away. The stress becomes chronic, which means the HPA axis is constantly activated and your body is flooded with cortisol. This state of high alert is terrible for fertility because the body essentially decides that reproduction is a non-essential luxury when survival is on the line. Let's look at female fertility first. In women, chronic stress creates a hormonal tug-of-war. The same hormone that starts the stress response, CRH, also directly suppresses the reproductive command center, known as the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal, or HPG axis. This suppression leads to a decrease in two absolutely vital pituitary hormones, luteinizing hormone, or LH, and follicle-stimulating hormone, or FSH. LH and FSH are the conductors of the reproductive orchestra. They're responsible for the development of ovarian follicles, the release of an egg during ovulation, and the production of estrogen and progesterone. When their levels are disrupted by stress, a woman might experience irregular menstrual cycles, making it incredibly difficult to time conception. In more severe cases, stress can completely suppress ovulation, a condition called anovulation, where no egg is released at all. Stress can also cause what's known as a luteal phase defect. This affects the second half of the menstrual cycle, where insufficient progesterone production can make it difficult for a fertilized egg to successfully implant in the uterine lining. Beyond hormones, chronic psychological stress leads to oxidative stress at a cellular level, which can directly impair the quality of a woman's eggs, reducing the chances of successful fertilization from the very start. The situation is just as significant for men, though it's often less discussed. Just like in women, chronic stress disrupts the HPG axis in men, leading to a decrease in testosterone. Testosterone is absolutely crucial for spermatogenesis, the process of making sperm. So what does the research show? There is a consistent link between high levels of perceived stress and poorer semen quality. Men dealing with significant life stressors are more likely to have a lower sperm concentration, meaning fewer sperm overall. They're also more likely to have reduced sperm motility, which is the ability of sperm to swim effectively, a critical factor for reaching and fertilizing an egg. Finally, stress can result in a higher percentage of abnormally shaped sperm, a condition called poor morphology, which can also hinder fertilization. And just as with egg quality, oxidative stress in men can damage sperm DNA, creating potential issues with fertilization and healthy embryo development. So where's all this stress coming from? The sources are everywhere. First, there's work-related stress. In today's hyper-competitive job market, long hours, high demands, and the constant pressure to perform can lead to chronic burnout. Studies have linked this kind of job strain to lower testosterone levels in men and disrupted hormonal balances in women. Then there's financial strain. The cost of living is one thing, but the exorbitant cost of fertility treatments themselves can be a crushing burden. A single cycle of IVF can cost thousands, and many couples need multiple cycles. This financial anxiety, piled on top of the emotional roller coaster of treatment, creates a perfect storm of stress. We also can't ignore societal and cultural pressures. In many cultures, there's immense pressure to have children within a certain time frame. Well-meaning questions from family and friends can feel like a constant reminder of a perceived failure. And then there's social media, a relentless stream of pregnancy announcements and picture-perfect families that can cause profound pain and isolation for those on a difficult fertility journey. Finally, there are environmental stressors. Our world is full of invisible threats. We're exposed to pollutants, like endocrine disruptors, found in everyday plastics, pesticides, and air pollution. These chemicals can directly interfere with our hormonal balance, disrupt ovulation, and impair sperm quality. Perhaps the most insidious part of this whole equation is the vicious cycle it creates. While stress can cause fertility problems, the experience of infertility is, in and of itself, a profound and chronic stressor. The emotional toll is immense, comparable to receiving a diagnosis for other serious medical conditions. People experience grief, loss, anger, and depression. The monthly cycle of hope, followed by crushing disappointment, is emotionally draining. The invasive nature of fertility treatments adds another layer of physical and psychological burden. This chronic stress then further disrupts the reproductive system, making conception even harder and perpetuating a cycle of despair that can feel impossible to escape. This strain can also take a heavy toll on relationships, making communication difficult and straining intimacy. So, how do you break this cycle? It's not about